Hello, you beautiful YouTube people, and welcome back to Cozy Steve. I hope you guys are having yourselves a wonderful day, enjoying yourselves. And for today's episode, we got another topic of marijuana, but this time I'm gonna focus on edibles, which would be my first time trying an edible. So this all started out it was back in my freshman year of high school. I was out, before school, like everybody else does. Everybody smokes before school. Well, not everybody, the stoners do. But anyways, yeah, I was with the buddy of mine. I'm gonna call him Jason for today. And yeah, me and him planned it like before school started. If me and him wanted to smoke, so I talk it over with him. We meet up, we get to school. We're doing our thing, and we're smoking. And for that day, I don't know if there was something wrong with him or something happened that didn't bother too much to butt into his life. But he seemed like he was having an off day, so I decided to spark him up. Give him a good time, make sure he's all right. And I'm guessing he appreciated that because he had an edible in his bag, and he was like, I already ate half of it, and I don't want the rest. Do you want the other piece? And I'm not gonna reject a free edible, especially from a buddy of mine. So yeah, of course I take it. I have a free edible, and for this day in particular, it was in my school it was called a block day. I don't know what you guys would call it, but it's just pretty much like your classes are like double periods. So like you skip one class and they extend the class to another period. It's fucking stupid. Anyways, but yeah, so it was a block period, and for that day, the classes that I had weren't necessarily important. Well, neither were any of my classes, to be honest. But it was a day where I actually didn't I normally would go higher than usual, so I didn't care. So he gave me the edible, and I just took it in with me, and I ate it like literally in my homeroom class. I ate it in my homeroom class. It's an edible, nobody knows what the fuck it is. So I was eating it like it was nothing, and yeah. So at this point, I didn't know how to react. Like I knew how it works. Like I knew it takes about an hour to hit, that kind of things. But he just gave it to me without any like details, like on where he got it from, who made it, or whatever. So I just kind of just took his word for it when he said it was strong. And yeah, I pretty much went with that. I was just expecting to get like really fucking high. And I go through first period. First period ends. I'm not feeling anything. I'm still just from what I smoked. But I'm not feeling anything. I'm not feeling any different, any higher. When edibles come, they hit you hard. But I'm not feeling any of that yet. And it mostly comes when this first period ends and I'm walking to second period. So for some reason, on that walk to second period, that's when the edible started to hit. And I don't know. And I knew it was starting to hit because normally between classes we have like 5 minutes to get to the next class. But to me, I was out walking in the hallways for maybe a good solid 20 minutes. But obviously I wasn't. And I'm out here like thinking like, oh, it's been like 20 minutes, and then I'm walking slower and slower, and I start realizing things. I'm like, okay, I'm getting a little like head heavy. I'm kind of, I think this edible is kicking. So once I get to second period, I sit down in class, and literally from there I just zoned the fuck out. Like I just completely zone out. The edible hits. I am in full edible mode. The edible has me by the balls at this moment. So I had no choice, but I just didn't want to be at school anymore. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just step out. So I just left school. I waited for that period to end because I'm not gonna leave mid period. So I waited for that period to end, and I just like left school. I was done with school. I didn't have anything important to do that day, so I don't care. I just left school. So I left school. I go down to McDonald's, get some food because munchies are kicking, and yeah, I pretty much walked home that day. I don't know what went through me to walk home, but I just decided to walk home. I was high as shit and I didn't care. And relatively, I would never walk home from my school because it's generally kind of far. Like literally driving to my school from my house at this time probably would take like 15 minutes maybe. So a walk would take about maybe an hour or so. So I pretty much knocked out an hour walk, and keep in mind I was in slippers that day. I remember too because I never gave a fuck on how I dressed going to school because I don't give a fuck about anybody. I never cared about impressing anybody. I don't give a shit. So I always go to school in either like pajamas, sweatpants, shit like that. So I go to school, got my sweatpants on, and I got slippers on, and I don't know what went through my head, but I was like, you know what, I'm high as shit. I'm gonna just walk home with these slippers. So the whole walk was, it was just a walk. I was just really high, and it was just like crazy because it's like I've been high before, but it hasn't been like such a head-turning high like this one was. Like this one actually had me like staring at shit. Like I'll be walking down the sidewalk and I'll just be staring at a stop sign for like 20 minutes, just like looking at it like, wow, it's so red. So yeah, the walk was kind of like iffy. I'm just happy I got home alive somehow, but yeah, I managed to get home, and then from there it was just mainly me just being on my bed and watching TV. And at this time it was I'm pretty sure if you guys are familiar with the show Gravity Falls, one of the best shows out there. But yeah, at the time Gravity Falls was like right at its peak where we're still bringing out new episodes. So Gravity Falls was one of my favorite shows. So at that day it was perfect for me because they were giving like a marathon of Gravity Falls. So, I just sat down and started watching Gravity Falls. And everything seemed normal, I'm high, I'm enjoying the high, but what really hit me was when I realized on how high I actually was I'm literally watching an episode of Gravity Falls. It's about maybe 4 o'clock at this time. This is maybe like 4 o'clock at this time. I sized it. It's like 1 o'clock at this time. So I took the edible, say 10 in the morning. Well, the edible hit like around 10 in the morning, so I had like the whole day, pretty much to enjoy it because edibles last like around 8 hours. So it's 1 o'clock, so I'm like just mid high. It's like, it's kicking. And this was my first edible, so I didn't really know, how to like take it when it goes away or anything. But since I'm very relatively open to like drugs, I let them take me, so I don't have any like bad experiences. So I'm very relaxed when it comes to like, consuming shit. So I lay in my bed, I'm enjoying the high, and I look at the clock. It's 1 o'clock. I'm watching Gravity Falls, and I'm not sure what it was with this edible, but it made me like time travel for a second. Obviously, it's bullshit, but let me explain. So I'm watching. It's 1 o'clock. I literally blink. I close my eyes. It felt to me like I just closed my eyes. I just blinked. I look up at the TV, and the TV is on a completely different channel. It's on Cartoon Network. I'm watching Amazing World of Gumball now, so these are like drug shows, like the good cartoons. So these are like the druggy cartoons. So I blink, and I'm watching Amazing World of Gumball. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I must have just changed the channel. I probably took like a 10-minute nap. And what else I realized is that it was no longer sunny outside. So that started raising me a little bit of questions. I'm like, okay, it's sunny outside. It's not sunny outside. And then I look at the clock, and I bullshit you not, it was 8 o'clock. I was out for a solid 7 hours, just without even knowing. I literally just stopped existing for 7 hours because of that fucking edible. And even then, since I'm guessing my body just like slept through those 7 hours, when I woke up again at 8 o'clock, I was still high from this edible. So that's why I thought nothing happened. I thought it was just like 10 minutes past because I'm still just as high as when I went to sleep. So now I'm just like, okay, I really like edibles. Edibles are amazing. These things are kicking. And yeah, I wake up and it's like 8 o'clock, and at this time, my parents have come from work, my little brother's back from school, and everything is just like, everybody's here, but nobody's bothered to wake me up. So I'm assuming I was like very deep asleep. And it's kind of crazy because like I didn't even, like, it felt like I just blinked. But, it's been like a whole 7 hours, which is like, what the fuck? So yeah, after that, I'm still high, I go eat and everything. My mom was like, this is when my mom started raising like a little bit of questions, like, why were you like asleep the whole day and everything, But I just shrugged it off, I was just tired, I had a long day at school, whatever. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I was just like, I texted my buddy, fucking Jason too. I was like, yo, like, did this edible have you kicking? And he was like, yeah, these edibles are strong. These are 500 milligram edibles. My first edible was a 500 milligram edibles. In case you guys don't know, into perspective, 100 milligrams is usually enough of a dose to have someone like really fucked up. Like 100 milligrams would be like, they're like candy edibles. They have like little Jolly Rancher joints. They're like little candy edibles. They're like 100 milligrams each. Those little edibles are enough to have people down for the day. This fucking brownie that I ate was 500 milligrams. I don't know why he didn't choose to tell me or why I didn't bother to ask, but I did it. So I took a whole 500 milligram edible. Thankfully, I was experienced with weed, or else I probably would have been even really more fucked up. But yeah, this 500 milligram edible downed it. So now I understand why I was fucked up to the point I was, because it was just a ridiculous amount to be consuming in like, what, 5 minutes maybe? Like, because I just ate that shit in 2 bites. And it was just ridiculous. Like, I don't even remember most of the day, like, because I wasn't doing shows. I just remember my long ass walk, blinking, and sleeping for 7 hours. So that's pretty much my first edibles. Like, that was my first edible story. It's literally not even much of a story. It's pretty much more of like a what the fuck just happened kind of thing. So, yeah, and that's pretty much it. Like, I had an edible, and ever since then, I've pretty much been in love with edibles. Like, even to the fact where I'll get on later to another story where I even became a plug at my school for like edibles. I was like the plug at the school for edibles. I'll talk about that another day. But yeah, like that's pretty much where like my love for edibles have come, and like to this day, I still like eat edibles like whenever I can get my hands on them. Like I know how to make them, I do all that stuff. It's like edibles are like my true love right now. Like they're amazing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like my first story about eating an edible, man, it was crazy. Then my buddy of mine just gave it to me. He was having a bad day. He's just like, say, just bless you up. So he blessed me. I blessed him with some weed, and you know, so it worked. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Edibles, they're great. Like if you haven't tried one, I'd recommend you to try one, but make sure you can handle your high. Like if you're like a constant smoker and you've like you smoke weed on the daily multiple times a day, you'll be fine with like an edible. You'll be fine with like a big dose. But if you're just like an average smoker, you smoke every now and then, like, and if you really want to take an edible, please always follow a system, because I have a system when it comes to edible. Even when I used to sell them back then, please follow a system. If you are new to edibles, I have seen too many people go crazy off edibles. Take an edible, take half of it, eat the half, wait a solid 25 to 35 minutes. A solid 25 to 35 minutes. And if you absolutely do not feel anything, then take the other half. I have had way too many people who eat the whole fucking thing, complain about it, oh, this edible doesn't work, this edible is bullshit, whatever. And then I have them texting my phone like an hour later, like saying like, yo, I'm in the fucking sky. I'm like, yeah, nigga, you just ate a 500 dose edible, so yeah, it was pretty insane. So yeah, if anybody wants to like try edibles, I'm not encouraging you guys to do. I don't promote anything. I'm just it's just for the information, entertainment purposes. But if you, in case you do, somebody hands you something, I wouldn't say no to it. So yeah. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you guys leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. If you guys have any topics you guys would like me to talk about, please leave it down in the comment section. I'll look it over for you guys. And yeah, enjoy yourselves. Stay magical, motherfuckers.